again. So first video review for this week is for Levelled by Serena J. Bishop. If you want to check out my Goodreads review, I did just post that the other day. So if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description below, and if you're on Facebook or my blog, then there's a link in the post. And this is a video review. So Levelled by Serena J. Bishop. Well, this was an interesting take on love. It really, really was. So Percy's life is kind of fallen apart. She's kind of, you know, she's in a bad place, but she's offered a teaching opportunity that she really can't refuse. So there she meets Steph and is completely taken by her and her unique outlook on relationships and life and everything. Like, Steph's a really unique character. So although Percy's kind of hesitant to fall in love again, she can't help but try to work Steph out. Steph has these approaches, you know, to work through levels of a relationship, and in an attempt to sort of get over her anxieties and find happiness, Percy's really sort of intrigued by that, and so she goes along trying to figure it out with Steph. But what a brilliant story. It was fun, it was logical, and it was a completely different approach to relationships, feelings, and falling in love. So for me, it felt a little bit like a game. It sort of accurately reflected life as well in some respects. You know, whatever we are doing in life, whether it be our job, a relationship, school, like whatever, it kind of is like a level. You have to complete it to get to the next stage or the next whatever. So like, this is sort of works on that concept. You know, you meet someone, you get to know them, you move in, or you don't move in, you know, whatever. You get married, you do this, you do that, you know. So it's all like that. And yeah, really, you know, Steph's got a point. There are levels, but she's sort of defined these and what she perceives them to be. And then, of course, as we're all different, Percy has very different sort of thoughts on said levels. So it was a bit like a game, and that is how I interpreted Steph's approach. So I really liked that about it. But I also could totally understand why that fascinated Percy, because she's a different person. So she's thinking, hang on, this level, what are you talking about? Because Steph had like these concrete rules, like it was like, no, like this happens in this level, this happens in this level, this happens in this level. So you had to get to the level, which makes sense. It does make sense. But Percy wasn't quite like that, and so it did me too. I was really fascinated by it, and she had these basic levels, and yet the closer her and Percy got, you know, the more the levels sort of blurred and they weren't as straightforward as Steph first thought they were going to be, and how she'd drawn them out. So then they kind of had to work together to establish sub-levels. Like, talk about complicating it, but it was so much fun. But Serena has really used a unique approach to write this story, and it reminded me a bit of an experiment as well. So it was packaged as reality and characters' lives that were real and unpredictable. So like, there were scenarios that the characters couldn't control, but it was very much like an experiment, like, and it was so clever. I mean, it was a lot of fun to read, and I loved how their relationship sort of developed and how it helped to change both their perspectives. And I don't know how Serena came up with this, but it's really clever. But they just helped each other through the difficulties, the anxieties, the emotional moments, and even learning to trust sort of and take a chance. They were complementing each other perfectly in that respect, and you could just tell that Steph and Percy, they were sort of destined to meet, destined to sort of make a difference to one another's lives and outlooks and stuff. So I really enjoyed this. It was really clever, and I highly recommend it to any romance lovers who want a story that's a little bit different from the typical romance, because it does have a bit of drama and it does have sort of all these complications, but they then have to sort of fit into the levels somehow, and then you can see that no matter how hard you try, Steph's really trying to protect herself with these levels, because obviously she's had a reason to, with her background. She's had a past that's sort of determined that she wants to have these levels to protect herself from getting hurt again. But it does sort of say to you that you can't control your life no matter how much you try to. Like, you can put all these sort of parameters in place, but something might just throw them out, and if you're going to stick to them, you're going to miss out. So that was a really clever sort of concept, and it was interesting and contemplative as to sort of whether unconsciously we do apply Steph's approach of relationship levels in our own lives, but how much we should stick to them as well. I really loved that. It really made me question things, and it made me think about things, and I really like stories like that. So I highly, highly recommend this. It's absolutely brilliant. So I hope you will go and grab a copy. I'll pop a link in the description so that you can. If you've read Levelled by Serena J. Bishop, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Like I say, it's a really interesting concept. It is a conversation sort of starter, so I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Please comment below, please get involved, please let me know. If you haven't read it yet, but you're planning to read it, you're intrigued by it, or it's on your to be read list, again, great to hear from you, so please let us know, because it's always great to hear what you're reading. And if you do read it, I hope you enjoy it. Bye!